Hey folks, welcome to the Salty Seaman. Uh, Giving a little update here as hopefully the title suggests, something I haven't done in a very, very long time for some very good reasons. Maybe answer some questions about the future of this channel. What was up, kind of with the last bit of content I did have, where I've been, and I'm just kind of doing this completely winging it. I put some thoughts in beforehand, but for the most part, I wanted this video just to kind of be from the heart and let you know what's been up with me. This channel isn't, a personal diary or anything, but, sometimes I think it is important, other than, obviously my tales from the fleet, sea story stuff. But, for the most part, you're here for content, not for my life story. But in this case, I felt it was, just necessary because there will be a change, in which is still something more than nothing, which my channel has been for several years now. I think going on 2 since the last time I've updated anything. I've lost my partnership with YouTube creator because I'm not, even though I still have videos that produce content, still make the YouTube algorithm money. I don't, not producing new content means I'm not participating, so they cancel that, which I had at the time. I wasn't just going to shit out a video just to keep that up. If it comes back, it comes back. I apologize for any camera shake here. I'm again winging this. As of right now, I don't have a subscription to Adobe Suite. I'm shooting this on an iPhone like a caveman. No mic. It's just completely winging it. I don't even have the Creator Studio app. I want to download that to put on my phone to upload this. And then I will start doing, working on future content. But, I'll take it back, I think, a little bit to more the beginning. I started this back my last, I think, year in the Navy around 2015. I think that's right. Maybe late 2014. At the time, I was just throwing content at the wall. I didn't know. I knew I wanted to. I knew I had a creative voice I wanted to do things with. I wanted to talk about things, put my opinions and feelings out there. Maybe do create, in creative endeavors. I'm a writer at heart. I always feel that way. Since I was a little kid. I was the kid writing, short stories in elementary school. I was that weirdo. That after my original stint in the Navy as a yeoman, which, I became a journalist. I was very happy to have that job, and I was able to be creative in my job. And, the YouTube platform I thought was, an easy way to put stuff out there, see what happens. And it had no form or, specific feeling. It was whatever I was interested in, I do a video on. And, just thoughts, feelings like, oh, this would be a good idea for a video. But there was no focus, and these kind of channels usually, pretty much anything on YouTube needs some kind of focus. You just can't have a potpourri channel. Like there's just no, I can't think of any channel it's just complete potpourri. But, and one of the things that, really I got any kind of traction was I did a video on surviving Navy boot camp. And, kind of kept that in the back of my mind, like, oh, that's very interesting. And in fact, that video, like, actually got me my YouTube creator partnership. It managed to, the views and I guess subscribers that came from, at the time qualified me. Like that was such a, low bar of qualifying back then. I think it's a lot higher now. But, I then retired. At the time was stationed in Japan, working in broadcasting, which helped drive my creative focus in this direction. Before I'd been more print in my career field, and moved to Georgia with my family. I was working on my degree in film, and I decided to focus the channel on military stuff. That seemed to be it seemed to be my niche, and it was something I was, I had to be willing to do it. If I didn't want to, I wouldn't have done it. I was like, well, this is something I can focus on, and I can occasionally still put out, or maybe start side channels for other things I'm interested in. But, I have a lot to talk about. I did 20 years and I was fresh out. And, I did a lot of different videos on different things. I did, the series Military Movie BS, Military Media BS. which is a lot of fun. Like basically ripping off. I've been watching a lot of Cinema Sins at the time, so I thought a version of that focused on military movies or movies with a lot of military stuff in it would be interesting. And there wasn't a lot of military channels at the time. Obviously that's 8 years, going on 8 years now. It's there's everything's changed. There's a million of everything on YouTube. Plenty of military channels. I'm sure I still follow a few, but I don't even know what's going on in the YouTube sphere when it comes to the military channels. Yeah, and I got lucky. No one had done, I noticed no one had done like any kind of concentrated video on stolen valor. And that was still my biggest video by far. My original tips on spotting stolen valor. A terrible video in a lot of ways. Good information, I think, but the camera, the lighting was so terrible. I put it in black and white just to kind of hide how bad it was. I really kind of just crapped it out. I had some notes on my phone and I was just going off, which I tend to do. I never been a big scripter. It's something I'll probably working on in the future, but at the time, I did blow up pretty big for what I was. I went from nothing to at least a little something. Then YouTube changed its algorithm. All of a sudden I was, I always went from like constantly climbing views to like just freaking nothing. And I just, kind of continued for pretty much, the rest of the time that channel, I was really doing anything with that channel for the next about 2 years. It basically petered out, but it also kind of petered out about the time I was going through a divorce. That's, my passion and my life upheaval at the time, kind of, helped, drive that away. Even though I was still making content, it was very lazy. It's a lot of voiceover, just, putting out, like Tales from the Fleet, which was fine as a standalone, but I was doing a lot of that type of stuff, just like a static picture. And I'd occasionally get motivated and do something a little bit more, but for the most part, that's, whatever content I was making was that. I was living on my own, and it was also the time, my alcoholism and drug abuse, drug addiction, kind of really spiraled out of control in conjunction with, this big life upheaval. The pandemic was going on, and my life kind of fell apart. There's just no two ways about it. I was homeless for about 6 months, bouncing around hotel to hotel with my childhood best friend. I ended up, also going through his own troubles, and we kind of, were tag teaming just to survive. The grace of a very wonderful person, took me states away to come try, and start my life over again. And I found myself from Georgia moving to Connecticut, where I live now, and I have for about almost 2 years now. I had an apartment, through, the graciousness of this person. She knows who she is. She'll be watching this. Still a very important person in my life, maybe the most important besides my son. And but she also witnessed me, kind of the worst of my, of my addiction and my addictive behavior. And I don't want to blame, my shitty life just on that. You make your own choices. Everything is a conscious choice, but it's certainly, the before and after, I think, is pretty obvious, that it was a driving problem with me, and I was, using that as a crutch not to deal with my problems that go beyond just addiction. But, finally I did hit, my rock bottom. I got a DUI, I wrecked my car I didn't even pay for, and, just stupid shit. And I finally, was like, hey, just the kick in the butt. I finally went to rehab, went to intense outpatient. I finally went and got help. And, and I went there with, not just going because I had to, or, people wanted me to go. It's like, no, I wanted to go. It was, I was like, no, you know what? You got to admit it. You're an alcoholic. You smoke way too much pot along, and that hasn't been helping, essentially since I, retired, adding pot to the mix, from being a formerly high functioning alcoholic to basically turning into a low functioning alcoholic and pothead. It did not work in my life, and I did a lot of bad things, a lot of stupid shit, just a lot, and it's not good. I've been 8 months clean now. This change in my life is monumental. It's today I just got hired on. I had bounced through so many jobs, just so many. Just trying to thank God for, my pension, and, that paid my child support, I wouldn't have been paying it on my own at that point. And I'd be, God knows how many thousands of dollars I'd be behind on that alone. I still have debt I need to crawl out of, both personal with people I know and otherwise. But, I also finally went to, sucked up my pride and ego and went to the VA and got disability. I have disability now from the VA supplementing my pension, and I have a full-time job that pays well and hired me on full time. And it's at a place that, they don't just hire anybody. It's, it's entry level, kind of factory job, but they pay well and they expect you to work. That's a lot of, literally most of the temps there don't last 2 weeks. It's just the way it is. So I have pride for, not only lasting, these 5.5 months, or whatever, 4.5 months. What is it? Whatever. It started in January, but so that's a big point of pride for me. I got in shape. My body changed. I've been, besides working out. Just my face looks so much better. It's like within, just coming out of rehab and treatment after 2 months, everyone just noticed the difference. I just realized I've been killing myself so slowly. Uh, you know, Other health benefits change. My mind is better. I'm at peace. And the first time I think I ever really have been in life, and it's wonderful. And it's still going. It's not, it's not, you don't end the process, just after, hey, I did, my time in the Grippy Socks factory, let's move on. I have now, reached the point in my life where I feel good. I feel at peace. I'm financially stable now. God willing, we'll be back, driving a car again like a regular person. The bus sucks, but you pay your penance. I did do the crime, you do the time. And all said and done, I got off easy for what I did. Uh, in just terms of being a dumbass drunk, running out of gas on the freeway and getting rear-ended. It could have been a lot fucking worse. But enough about that. What is the future of this channel? Let's get behind my sob story to triumph, or whatever, however you want to view it. I'm not continuing this channel as a military themed channel. I do have ideas, more in the video essay kind of vein. And so there might be a lot of different topics, but for right now, I will be focusing on on Stephen King books and their assorted media, particularly The Dark Tower. Just at work, we get to listen to headphones, and I've been reading audiobooks. And I restarted not just the Dark Tower books, but all the ancillary books with it. And I have stuff to say about it, both personal and as a story, and stuff to geek out about. Stuff like, that's kind of what I like to do. So that will be, that'll be the next content coming out, an intro, and then a review of The Stand. I've done a few drafts so far. I've started the second book of that series as well. So, and there'll be other content as well. I'm not saying there'll never be any other more military content, but it'll be more in a video essay form. Again, my personal stuff mixed with kind of geekery, and just kind of exploring stuff. Not quite completely academic. I would take maybe kind of personal / academic views on things, but we'll see. It'll. I don't think it's going to be complete potpourri, and for the foreseeable future, probably for a few years now, it's going to be Stephen King. So I understand, if that's not your bag, you came here for military stuff, and you're somehow still subscribed to me because it's still today, just because you never bothered to unsubscribe. You can go ahead and unsubscribe. That's fine. That's not your bag. If you're brand new and it's like, oh, hey, I came here for Stephen King, and now what the hell is all this other weird content you have? Here's a video explaining that. If you came here for the military stuff, but hey, I like Stephen King, I'll keep watching you for that. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that too. So yeah, that's it. I'm in a much better place now in life, and the urge to create content again is in me. I've always had that, and I always will. and I think I'm in a better place to do it, and hopefully I'll make good polished stuff, and I look forward to making stuff for you guys again. If no one watches it, so it'll be my own therapy, creativity wise anyway. Just have it out there. I'll feel happy about it. So I always said, if it doesn't make me happy, I'm not going to do it just to try to get clicks and views and whatever else. It's not worth it. I can make money elsewhere, but if I can get any kind of following, people enjoying what I do, that's great too. So hopefully for those of you coming on the ride, thank you. And those, who won't be anymore, who, it's like, hey, I just wanted to watch military stuff, don't care about Stephen King or whatever else nerd crap you're going to talk about. That's cool too. Thanks a lot for the views and subs you did give me. And yeah, that's it. Salty Seaman out. I'll see you in the intro.